All right.
Are we
ready?
Yeah, I'm
Are
ready.
you good?
I'm good.
All right. St. Patty's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Well, cheers again.
Cheers again to that.
I guess we got a drink, right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's what Irish people do.
I guess that's what Irish people do, among other things. Eating potatoes and such.
Eating really, really lovely food. No, not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
I'll
Boiled everything.
I'll keep my cheeseburger and pizza.
Haggis? No, that's Scottish. That's not Irish.
They're close enough, right?
Yeah,
They're
I'm pretty sure they had a part in it. I don't know how, but yuck.
Yeah. What is it? Potatoes is Irish?
Potatoes, well, yeah.
Just
For a while, and then not so much.
they had the famine, and then they all came here, right?
Yep. They all came here, and we're a big part of the building of New York City and everywhere else, really. Chicago. Irish immigrants were important,
And the backbone of cities.
definitely. But this holiday, I don't think is really about...
I think it's an excuse to drink.
Yeah, I think so, too. Most holidays are.
Because what did they do in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know. I don't think much. I don't think it's the same thing for them as it is for us.
They don't have like parades and marathons and
People dressed up as leprechauns.
bar crawls and
Yeah.
green everywhere.
No, I think it's St. Patrick's Day perpetually in Ireland.
Yep.
It's just kind of what they do, and then, I don't know. This holiday, though, it seems like it's about bar specials and,
All the Irish car bombs.
yep,
All the Guinness you can drink.
green dye, yep,
Green Bud Light.
green Bud Light, green
Poop
around your lips.
the next
Yeah,
day.
Exactly.
It's all just all the green you can handle in one day.
It's a mess.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't most holidays like that though? Like it's just
Seems
over
like-
Americanized. Like,
Yeah.
do we take holidays too far? Like there's Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
there's
Day is a corporate
Father's Day,
hangout.
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they don't need to be celebrated.
Those
but like
make sense, but yeah, some of them, yeah, Valentine's
Christmas
Day.
might be getting a little out of hand.
Yeah,
And like when you start seeing Christmas trees in like October, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You haven't even eaten your turkey yet.
people are crazy. Like the day after Halloween, November 1st.
What is it like? National Hot Dog Day, National Cupcake Day.
There's a day for everything now.
What the like?
It's all about marketing, right? It's
Yeah.
about trying to break through and appeal to people.
But I feel like Oscar Mayer would want to sell hot dogs year round, not
Yeah.
just one day.
What's with the peak hot dog day?
Yeah.
This is the day I want to own.
It's like just make hot dogs cheaper in the ballparks, and I'm sure you'd sell more hot dogs.
It's not like people hate holidays. I mean, we're
It's like
willing to fall for the trick.
we want an excuse to do something.
Exactly. But
We want the excuse.
what would the holiday look like if it was really about celebrating Irish people? We would all, what?
Eat corned beef and cabbage, and
Walk barefoot?
is that where they like expelled the snakes from like Ireland?
That's the story, yeah.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's story.
I mean, I guess we'd see a snake and we'd beat
the
a
shit
pan
out
and
of it?
stick, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
We
But I
would-
like the drinking idea better.
Yeah, that works for us.
It seems
here
to be
in
way
America.
more entertaining. Until you have to go to work the next morning, because this year it's on the Sunday, and it's
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of late Monday mornings.
I imagine a couple people might be a little late to the office tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then
It's kind of like Super Bowl in that way. You got to expect some 11 o'clock entries.
I'm still waiting for the year they switch it to Saturday night.
It's unbelievable.
Could you imagine like how much bigger it would be if it was a Saturday night?
Yeah. We don't change stuff like that. That makes sense. We vote on a Tuesday. How does that make any sense to anybody? Vote on a Saturday.
You're off work. Well, majority of people are off work.
Majority of people are off work. Or, okay, how about a weekend? Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, why does it have to be one day?
Doesn't make any sense.
Why can't it be the entire week? Like you pick this week. You pick the time that's more convenient for you.
Yeah. It's almost like they want to make it hard.
Yeah.
Back
Why
up.
would they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess going on to what's another like silly holiday that like Memorial Day, Labor Day, those were just
4th of
invented.
July is kind of silly, too, because most of the country's foundation wasn't the Declaration of Independence. Right? The Constitution should probably be...
I mean, the idea of celebrating it is worthwhile, but I think we've gone away from what we're actually celebrating.
Yeah. What is
like,
it?
we just want barbecue,
cookouts,
beers, and fireworks.
Yeah. Drinking, again.
Yeah. Well, we drink a lot here in America, apparently.
And it's also like the peak summer vacation.
That's going to be loud.
Yeah, that would be very loud. Sorry about that. It's also the peak summer vacation weekend. 4th of July weekend is when all...
Convenient.
Yeah. Again, I think it's marketing. It's another marketing ploy. Again, I don't think anybody's fighting
The
it.
founding fathers planned that one well. Like, what's a good time of year to get this done? When it's really hot.
Even the holidays that matter, like Christmas.
Well, I would think it, depending on where you are, 4th of July
matter's not the right word.
might be more important. I don't know. It's all subjective, I suppose.
Even Thanksgiving is now about the Friday after it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest deal when we think about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it feels like the actual Thanksgiving part is skipped over for Black Friday.
We're embracing all of that
Because I guess
commercialism.
can't sell turkeys. You can't sell it at Kohl's. You can't sell it at Walmart. I guess Walmart does sell turkeys.
I imagine.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I always wondered this. Okay, so let's say that they sell 100,000 Xboxes for this reduced price on Friday. Instead of having the reduced price just Friday, if you kept the reduced price the entire year, you could sell 20 million at the reduced price. So why is it that we're willing to accept a one-day cut? It's not like the company's losing any money.
Or is the company selling the Xbox the rest of the year at a higher
rate? That's my point. If they wanted to give us a good deal, they would give us a good deal the whole year round. And if it makes sense to sell it on one day, why doesn't it make sense to sell it on every day at that price?
Because as soon as you get an Xbox, you have to get the Xbox Live subscription. So, like, the more time you have with that, the more money they get.
Yeah. I wonder how many parents got that, didn't understand the Xbox Live, and then...
It's not PlayStation. It's not free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just silly. All the things.
Yes, all of the things.
Yeah, all the things we get from taking all these holidays, for instance, like all the stuff we get or learn from Ireland on this one day.
Yeah. And then we forget it. Who gives a fuck about the Irish the day after?
Yeah, who cares?
Who gives a fuck about romantic love the day after Valentine's Day?
Well, the person that popped the question or bought this necklace, they're like, I pay for this for the next 6 months.
That's right. You're paying for that day for years.
Still paying.
Because it's the only way that you can show that you love somebody is by buying them a diamond. I've seen the commercials, Dustin. It's the only way she'll know.
I feel like there's just warehouses full of diamonds, and they're just tricking you.
Yeah.
Like, diamonds is probably more common than coal.
Yeah. I bet it is.
But I can get a bag of charcoal for $3.
It's a different marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Diamonds are
shiny.
Yeah.
Coal is dirty.
Shiny rocks. A lot of people die for those things. But a lot of people die for dumb things. All the time. A lot of people are going to die this weekend. Rest in peace. We're driving drunk. Don't do it. Drink responsibly.
And don't run someone over. That's just rude.
Yeah. Not on a holiday. So the corporatism of it bothers me, but I also just enjoy
sometimes
fucking around.
Holidays are just the excuse you need to do something fun.
Yeah.
It's like, because everyone just does the mundane, very much like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Then the weekends come, they might, go have a family dinner, they might go out with some friends. But most people probably just make the excuse and just stay home.
Yeah.
Whereas the holidays, like, oh, it's 4th of July, we're doing something.
Yeah. It's a way to make a plan.
It's like built in, like, R&R days.
Yeah. Like relief valves.
Because you don't think about work, you don't think about
those
other responsibilities you might have, like, oh, do I have to change my tires? I need an oil change. I have to do laundry.
If you get one of those great 3-day weekend ones where it lines up just perfect.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, those are awesome.
3-day weekends are amazing. Wish every week was a 3-day week.
And I think America, even though we have a lot, we don't have. Most countries have more. Most countries have more national holiday, bank holiday things, days off for teachers and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and like in Spain, I think there's like siesta time, so like everyone takes like naps in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Like they get paid to take naps.
I'd be wrecked. I'm always grumpy after a nap.
Yeah, like
I have to get all my stuff done.
Have to get like a 40-minute nap, and the next 20 minutes like
Yep.
more coffee, more like. And then other countries have way more paid time off.
Yes.
Like months more.
Ridiculous amounts, yeah. And they have a lot more forgiveness for like health issues, especially mental health. If you need to take a couple days to get your shit straight, it's like having a cold.
Yeah. It's just the idea of like work here compared to other countries is more people live to work in this country. In other countries, they work to live.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. We associate our jobs with our identities.
Yeah.
So if you're a teacher, then you're a teacher. If you work in a mortgage office, I am a office worker. That's who I am.
You're an office worker, you're a clerk, you're a
50%.
lawyer, you're a congressman, you're like everyone's like who everyone is, what they do.
Yeah.
Whereas in other countries, they're like, I mean,
Yeah. It would be like the third thing you mentioned when you were
Yeah.
talking about yourself. But for us, that's the first question people ask you. What do you do? What do you do for a living?
or it's like where you went to school or
Yeah.
one of those things.
Context. I think we could use maybe a few more holidays, but I think we need to change the way we, I don't know, pick instead of basing a holiday on a, I don't know, ethnic group. Maybe we should pick different things to group our holidays around.
Well, they made like Labor Day and Memorial Day.
Father's Day, Mother's Day.
Yeah, but you don't get like time off for Mother's Day and Father's Day.
No. That should probably be a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, like all those, like they should just be 3-day weekends or have the day off. Because like, do companies really need you to work that much?
I don't think so. I know I'm not that productive. They could cut 20 hours out of my week and still get the same thing out of me.
Like it's just, how does the rest? Well, I guess our economy is better than the rest of the most of the country.
Yeah,
most of the other countries in the world.
Absolutely.
Is that because we work so much? But then,
There is something about having a work ethic, but I don't think we work harder than the Japanese. You know, I don't think there are.
Well, we're also not. I guess the Chinese that jump out of their
Yeah.
their
the Apple
workstations.
plants.
Yeah,
To put nets.
I guess it's China
Yeah. Somewhere in there. Somewhere I don't want to work, I guess.
or live. I would visit. I'd visit.
Yeah. Probably has good food. I don't know.
Interesting food, I imagine.
Mm.
You gotta see your food usually. They cook it like the market's
Yeah.
fresh and stuff, so
Yeah.
it's a little different.
Lots of Anthony Bourdain stuff that I just wouldn't want to stumble into.
I think I would like it.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like new things. I'll try anything once.
I have a couple of lines. I have a weak stomach. It'll come up. I have to be careful. It's worse to throw the thing up. After
Oh, you don't want to see it twice. You don't want to see it again.
That was very good, thank you. Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, no. Well, I won't be going to those countries with you.
Yeah,
Maybe your sister.
fair enough. Yeah, I'm not eating down any, alleys. That's not my thing.
No.
I'll look for the McDonald's arches in China. That's what I'll do.
Where's the American food? So, I guess... Well, like other countries, we open up restaurants and stuff like that in other countries and stuff, but like when we open up other countries' stuff here, like it's appropriation, like...
Yeah.
I don't ever get mad that like China has a McDonald's.
I think culture is appropriation. It's combining things together. That's the whole point of culture. If I have dreadlocks, that doesn't mean I'm saying having dreadlocks is, I don't know. I'm not insulting people who have dreadlocks. I think they're cool, so I have them. That's how culture creates itself.
It takes the best best ideas of like that culture, and it perpetuates it.
Oh, kitty. He's a good dog. Just gets excited when he hears about appropriation.
But yeah.
He's a big fan.
But yeah.
Culture's supposed to be a weave. It's not supposed to be a one-line story.
And it's how you find the best way to live. You take, well, the Egyptians had these things going for it, like Africans had this thing for it, Chinese had this, and then you make it, and then like that's pretty much what America did. It's just a big old melting pot.
Yeah, it's supposed to be that way. We don't want like the Empire from Star Wars is a monoculture. It's just a one thing. So the idea that we can't add things into the culture is limiting in a way that's stupid.
Or take things from another country, culture, and then like adapt it into ours.
Of course we do.
That's what makes ours better.
Yes.
Because you can have all these things, but then nowadays people are being like, that's appropriation. Be like, isn't that a good thing?
I think it is. I guess the theory from them, I'll try to play devil's advocate, is that by wearing dreadlocks, I'm making fun of or I'm making light of somebody else's culture.
Why? I don't understand.
Doesn't belong on me, I guess, would be the argument.
That doesn't make any... It's just how people... It's stupid.
It is stupid. We have different fashions all the time that we're pulling from everywhere to create these, I don't know, cultural paradigms. And if we try to lob ourselves off or try to round all the corners, we stop becoming a culture of everybody and we become the empire.
Yeah. Everyone wearing white and black outfits with masks so no one knows who you are.
Yeah. The whole idea is to constantly add and refine and revise. Shouldn't be trying to stop people from expressing themselves however they want to, as long as it's not directly, I don't know, threatening or...
Yeah, I would feel like most things that are appropriated are like say you have a favorite like football team, you wear a Colts jersey, or a New England jersey.
Yeah, New England.
Yeah, I know. And you're saying, this is what I like.
Yeah.
This is what I like of your culture, so I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
It's not saying anything bad or negative because you're doing something of that. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. There was this idea of being a poser. I remember growing up, the idea of being a poser or...
wearing like your Quicksilver shirt that you don't actually surf.
I'm not really a surfer or a skater, so I'm posing as something. Or I have a lot of hip-hop fashion, so then I'm posing as...
Yeah. But I guess growing up in Hampton Roads and like Virginia Beach specifically, like there were more surf shops than there were Walmarts or like malls, and it was just easier to buy a Quicksilver shirt.
Yeah, why can't I just like the shirt? Why do I have to become the purity of this skateboard?
Maybe I can't actually surf, but I enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
Like, do I actually have to do it?
Is your shirt your identity?
Yeah, it's just like...
Am I stealing your identity?
It's just like, so everyone that wears a jersey is a poser?
Yeah.
Because they're obviously not in the sport, getting paid millions of dollars.
No, but they're ready to go into the game the second they're needed. Got the jersey.
So I guess every jersey wearer is a poser.
Yeah. The idea of poser is silly. If your identity... Again, that's 2. I'm counting.
How many dings are we going to get today?
Yep.
Over, under. My over is 5. I'm with over 5.
I think copying is monkey see, monkey do is part of humanity. And
it's just compliment.
It's a compliment, is what it is.
It's just like, well, that shirt looks really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, your hairstyle looks really cool. Oh, that mohawk? No, it's not for me. Sorry.
Yeah. It's this idea of purity. That everyone has to be all the one thing or all this thing.
And you have to do it, or you can't, or you're not allowed, or you have... Like, it's just let people do what they want to do.
Who cares?
Well, what I say like a couple episodes ago, just inclusion.
Yeah.
Just don't exclude people.
It's not going to work, excluding people.
Because they still own that shirt. They still have that hairstyle. Like, they still drive that car.
Excluding people. That's a good way to get into immigration, which is what I wanted to talk about because of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
Because I'll do a little history lesson.
Well, like they built Chicago, they built New York.
Yes, they did. The Irish were very important in the infrastructure part of building our cities. and they received a whole hell of a lot of harassment.
Well, I think a lot of that is also because there was mass immigration coming in that time. So, like, everyone... Because they didn't speak English. They spoke whatever native tongue was. Right. So they grouped together. So then, like, when you went 2 blocks north, you were now in Italy Town.
Right.
What do they call it? I don't know that.
Chinatown, Italy Town. I'll
you know what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
And then, like, Czechoslovakian people, then, like, so it's Russian people. It's all just... So they all grouped together because that's what the language they spoke, and then when they went outside of it, they're like, get out of here, like, you're not one of us.
Yeah.
I think it was just a lot of, like, tribalism.
That's the word.
I think it was more of a language barrier, I imagine, than anything. But apparently, like, Irish just got shit on a little bit more than other people.
We have a history of this in America where we take any group. We could take the Irish, we could take Italians, we can take the Chinese building a railroad. Any of these groups of immigrants immediately felt persecution from the native sect of America. This is part of the American tradition. This thing that we're doing right now to Mexico is the same thing we've been doing for our entire history, basically.
It's just their turn, I suppose?
Yeah. We're just moving, the wheel is spinning and it landed on Mexico. At various times in American history, we have been as ugly as you can think to any group of now accepted Americans. Like, I don't think anybody thinks an Irish American is anything less than an American. An Italian American is an American.
Well, especially now at this point, it's just... no one even cares.
By saying Mexican American, people start to...
Where's your green card?
Yeah.
Let me see your green card.
It's the same
thing. Why are you taking my brother's job?
It's the same process through history. It's boring.
I guess it's just like when you join a fraternity or like you join like a sport, like when you're like the newbie, you just... Well, even when you like join a new job, like you just...
Yeah.
You have to get the people's coffee, you have to take the pranks, you have to do the shit.
It's probably part of human nature, like you said. You make the outsider work his way in.
Yeah, it's just their turn to be hazed, I guess. This is, I guess, the best way to put it.
But you don't allow that outsider to work his way in if you build a wall.
Well, the wall doesn't stop people from coming in.
No, it doesn't?
No.
Explain.
It doesn't stop people from immigrating to the country.
Yeah.
The wall just makes it easier to stop the things you don't want coming in. Do I feel like you need a giant-ass wall? I guess with the issues we have other than immigration, it might be necessary.
Yeah.
But...
I don't know. I don't think...
But I think it's also just a problem with how you immigrate. Like, how you become a citizen. Like, maybe the process is just... It's very long.
Uh-huh.
It's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it needs to be worked out. Because, like, you take, like, a test that's... I'm sure 60% of people watching this, listening to it, can't pass that test.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because we stopped learning... Well, we stopped caring about all that stuff that we learned in high school.
Yeah.
That's on that test. And even some things we didn't learn are on that test.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're coming to this country, you need to know about the country you're about to live in.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with the test. But I think, like, getting in and, like, there's a lottery system. Like, why the fuck is it? Why isn't it just, you got here first, you did your shit, okay, now you're in. Like, the whole fact that it's, like, randomly picked, like, who randomly picks these people that come in?
Very suspicious. It doesn't seem like the smartest way to do it.
No. And the fact that, like, the faster you get people in to start contributing the way other citizens contribute, it seems the better.
Yeah.
Because they're coming in, you might as well take from them as soon as possible.
Yeah. So, in one of the arguments that you always hear is the, what is it, M13? Is that the name of the gang? MS-13? That's it.
The gang?
Yeah, MS-13. A lot of the argument is that they're recruiting, or they're bringing people over to, I don't know, be violent in American cities But the problem is that MS-13 does most of its recruiting in high schools in America. They're recruiting American kids.
Well, yeah, it's just a matter of, well, if you just legalize drugs...
Here we go again.
You just get rid of all that.
Yeah. At least you can...
Because they don't have any power. Like, if drugs are illegal, all of this crime is usually revolves around drugs.
Yes.
Because people...
It's money. It revolves around the money involved in selling drugs.
And you don't have to get a green card to start selling drugs. And all... Like, it's just...
Yeah.
Drugs is the issue, apparently.
It's
just legalize the drugs and the cartels will go away.
We have this thing in our country.
What are they going to do? Start selling us water? We got plenty of that.
Well, they'll try. Water and oranges. We have this...
Avocados.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over the avocado industry.
Well, I think they have.
But that's fine. We love our avocados.
Toast. Yeah, it's big.
We got to have that.
I don't think the wall stops. Most immigration doesn't come across the border. Doesn't walk across the border. Most of the time, they drive across the border and say, "Hey, we're going to Disneyland," and the guy just waves them through because, of course, we want people to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, why not?
The idea that you could build a wall and stop immigration is ridiculous. The idea that you could build a wall...
I don't think it necessarily has a lot to do with the immigration part, but it does stop the illegal... Like, it stops some illegal prospects of it because in the inhumane way, like, I imagine the cartels are the one that run, like, I think they're called coyotes or whatever, that
Yep.
do the caravans across, like...
Right.
They have to cross the fucking desert to get here. If you just make the process easier and like more hospitable to people coming in, they'll just drive up the road, go through a thing, be like, okay, we want to come in, start living. They're like, okay, we'll take you down. Like,
yeah,
just
a lot of it is inhumane. A lot of it is not recognizing the humanity in other people, like taking their kids away, and a lot of it is
they do not take their kids away. Their kids do not belong in the jail that their parents, because they broke the law, go into. So where are you supposed to put these kids? You can't put them in the jail with... I guess you can just develop lots of family... I guess at that point it's just housing, though. Like, it's just family jails.
The Commonwealth of Virginia separates parents and children almost every day when they hand out prison sentences.
I imagine every county in the United States does it almost every day. Maybe not every county, because, like... But if you live in a city or a county that has over 100,000 people, I imagine it probably happens every day.
Imagine that you're a mother of, like, a 3-year-old kid. Why are you walking across the border? Is it for MS-13? Are you doing it to subvert American laws? Why is that person there walking across the border?
Well, they're probably there to better their lives.
Yes.
Because I imagine lots of towns in Mexico are corrupt because of drugs.
Yes.
The cartel.
Violent.
I guess if you get a handle on our drug situation in the country, it will transfer over to Mexico.
Yes. Quickly.
Because they won't have the money.
Yeah.
You can't bribe people with no money.
Yeah. We are, in a way, we're paying for Mexico to have a corrupt government with our illegal drug sales.
We're supporting it.
Yeah. It's basically us doing it with our money.
Yeah.
Because somebody is going to take advantage of this economic opportunity.
Just imagine, like, if it became legal, we started paying the government in taxes, and then, like, other companies, like entrepreneurs, whatever, that want to start their, whatever the case, whatever drug within, like, I'm sure there'll be different categories and different ways of how and why. All that money will go back into America instead of being funneled back down to 10 people in that murder and decapitate, burn people alive.
They're action movie villains. That's who these people are. If you've seen an action movie, you know.
There's probably been some cartel lord, whatever they're called, in a movie that you've seen probably in the last 6 months.
Yeah. The thing about them is they're not dumb. So not only they're cheating the Mexican people, but at the same time they're throwing a little bit of cash to
they're
the
like
forced
Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's the game they're playing. You know what? American politicians play the Robin Hood game all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not anything new.
Well, they play the Robin Hood game.
Yeah. Elect me and I'll make sure that the rich pay their fair share. We'll put up brand new schools and state-of-the-art hospitals and...
But all those new schools go into the districts that don't need them.
Yeah.
Instead of going 2 districts over where, like, what is it, like Alabama, like, they have a $6 billion education that they get, like, bill, like, what's that word? They have $6 billion to spend on education.
Budget.
That's the word.
That's the word.
Yeah. Degrees in the mail.
Yeah.
Yet there are schools that have leaky roofs.
Yeah.
Don't even have a computer. Textbooks are probably waterlogged from the leaky roofs. Whereas if you go 25 miles down the road, completely opposite.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to marketing. So Coca-Cola has got billions and billions of dollars worth of marketing. Reading has none. Why is it that we live in a country where we're allowing our attention to be totally corporatized?
Because that television you got in your living room, you don't have to read to watch TV.
That's true. I don't have to think.
You don't, like, it's all put right there in your brain.
But not thinking has led to my life being in this state. Maybe I should start thinking.
Maybe.
Something to
think about?
Yeah, something to think about if you're not thinking.
Which, hopefully, you are.
So, a wall is too expensive, and it doesn't serve the purpose that you are at least expressing that you're intending, that it's going to cut off immigration.
Well, I don't think...
Stop drugs. No.
No, I don't think Trump is a very good marketing person. Because let's go with the death tax.
Okay.
That's what it used to be called.
Right.
In, like, the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Never really flew with anyone. It didn't make sense. People didn't want it.
Yeah.
They didn't like the idea. But then there was, what is it called now? The luxury tax?
Something like that.
They changed the name of it.
Yeah. It was a subtle change, and it changed the way people voted on it. Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, I like this idea."
Yeah.
You're gonna tax people when they die, when they leave stuff to people. It doesn't make sense to tax that.
No.
It's a death tax, and they changed the name of it, and it passed.
Well, people say poor people are looking for handouts, entitlements all the time. Well,
that's what the death tax is, but the name was poorly chosen. They change it, and all of a sudden it passes.
Yeah, what's more entitlement than inheritance?
If
you've earned nothing. You've done nothing to earn this money, and it's just yours. That's an entitlement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Trump never said anything about immigration, if he just said drugs, sex trafficking, I'm pretty sure that wall would have been built already.
Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't solve any of the problems he's suggesting it will solve.
Because he's dumb.
Yes,
his marketing team didn't consult him before he said this.
Yeah.
Probably because he ad-libs a lot.
There are already tunnels in place now, and there's no wall. They just built the tunnel because it's easier to get around whatever drone force or whatever that we've got there. There's already tunnels. They'll just tunnel under the wall. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, it's not that dumb because if you have a wall, you can see further. So you'd be like, okay, there's a town there. So you just be like,
we have satellites, right. Dustin.
But when you build the wall, you can have, like, banks have, like, seismic meters and stuff. When you start tunneling and stuff, you'd be like, oh, there's a lot of activity here.
Right.
So you fix the problem.
No, you don't solve any problems with the wall.
I don't.
You just create a bigger deficit. That's all. You spent money on something that doesn't matter.
Okay, let me put it a different way.
Yeah, put it a different way.
I think in 2018, they, at checkpoints, like legal access points of the country, they found Well, they seized. What is it? In pounds. So it's various drugs within pounds.
Yeah.
430 something million tons of drugs.
Okay.
And they found, I might be off like the first number, whatever.
Yeah.
But they seized more drugs in other parts of the border than they found in the access points.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think that some get through?
I'm positive that some get
So you don't think more will be seized in non-access points with building a wall?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you'll make it a little more difficult, but these people have been working around your policies from the beginning. There's no way to stop this. Americans want it. They want these things. They're gonna get it.
Well, that's besides the point.
Well,
but if you stop it from
issue.
coming in, people can't get it.
No, they can. Most drugs come through ports. So there's a giant
There
container.
are more seized seized drugs in non-ports of entry than ports of entry.
Because they can't seize what they can't find. There's too much stuff for them
so
to pick out the right.
Why not
container.
eliminate some things?
Eliminate.
The wall does not do anything for immigration. We're not even talking about immigration.
We're talking about drugs.
Because they'll just come through the ports of entry.
Yeah.
They'll still get through.
A wall doesn't stop the mental health problem that drugs are. So, to me, this is not... I don't even think Donald Trump wants a wall. I think he made a promise during the campaign, and now he has to stick to it, or he looks like a liar.
But the wall was budgeted before he was even elected. It was budgeted for before he was elected. The wall was planned out, budgeted, and he was just like, well, why isn't it built? I'll just use this as a platform.
Well, it seems like he's not...
So the Democrats were very fine with it 5 years ago.
I don't know. That could be true. You could be right.
And maybe a wall is just a weird thing. Like, it could just be like a fence. Like, something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Or just like towers every so often that like had sensors and stuff that go through it, so you can have personnel instead of having them every 100 miles, every 25 miles with sensors and stuff. It doesn't even have to be a wall because it's a fucking desert.
All right, listen. If Mexico was paying for the wall, I wouldn't fight it.
Well, if you just use the money seized by El Chapo, Mexico is kind of paying for the wall. Okay. Where does seized money go? It just sits in a locker?
I have no idea.
Where does it get?
Yeah.
Does it get reappropriated anywhere?
I don't know.
Or does it just sit in evidence lockers or like?
That's a good question.
Money like that is just zeros and ones on a computer screen, right? Because I imagine most of it's just from his bank account.
Yeah, it's just...
Or like his properties or whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea what happens. That's a good question.
Because there was billions of dollars seized. Billions. Which the budget he wants is, what was it, $5 billion?
I don't remember. Something like that, though. Yeah.
So I imagine you get most of the way, if not all the way there, if you just use the largest drug lords seizing.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It makes sense, but there's got to be some kind of legal thing we don't know.
No, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
But, well, why do we... Like, he's not an American citizen.
No, but there's international law, and America does do a lot of stuff.
So we have to wait till he dies? Like, because what? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Because no one gets that money again, even from like mobs that got all their profits seized and stuff. Like, no one sees that money again.
I have no idea.
I really want to know what happens to the money.
That's a good question. Something's got to happen. It doesn't just disappear.
Or does it?
Maybe it does just disappear.
It goes to those deep state.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's your thing.
Deep state.
Yeah. So we apparently disagree on the wall.
Yes, we do. We definitely disagree on the wall. I don't think we disagree on immigration in the sense that we both think inclusion is the right
method.
We just want a better process.
the process is horrible because lottery and it takes like a decade to get through, and it just seems like way too much work for not as like there's no benefit to deporting people.
Yeah.
There's no benefit for the country.
Yeah.
Unless they're like shitty people, but that's like what
even then
1 in 500. That's a shitty person.
Yeah. You're just pushing a shitty person onto another place.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing with the deportation.
Which will probably just end up back here anyway. So just make it legal and then take their taxes, like make them like actually file.
Yeah, I personally think that you should have to pay your way in to our society. So you don't immediately become an American citizen. You start paying taxes. You take the class that you were talking about.
Or was there like a probation period where you're like you have your green card. You're not quite a citizen yet, but like getting your green card should be 10 times easier. And then becoming a citizen should probably be just as hard.
Yeah.
But you're in the country paying your fair share.
That's the key point. Yeah, I think you've got to be paying into our system in order to get the eventual benefits of our system. My parents paid taxes for me, which was nice because then when I became adult, I started paying my own taxes. But it started with them.
Well, technically they were paying their own taxes.
Yeah, but I was
you weren't making
dependent of them.
Yeah.
So even when I was a kid, someone was paying in on my behalf. Same thing happens for an adult. I just think you've got to start a process of adding in before we're going to just bestow citizenship.
Yeah, and then like maybe even like tiers of acquiring benefits.
Yeah.
Because some illegal aliens have lots of benefits in this country, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, I think we give benefits to poor people. We don't care who they are. That's part of it.
Well, you should.
I don't know if you should.
Well, no, I'm saying like you should care, but not necessarily in the way like today, because the process like you should help out poor people.
Yes.
But the poor people should be in the system helping out.
Yeah.
In the same way every other poor person that acquires welfare is. Like they still have it. Well, most of them have a job that pay taxes in some fashion,
right.
Or they benefit society in some fashion,
in some way.
Whereas illegal aliens, like they might just work on the table. They might mule drugs. Who knows what they do? Because we don't know.
Yeah, because we have holes in our system. It's not
their fault,
right?
But at the same time, I'm not saying we shouldn't help them, but I'm saying we should get them in the system as fast as possible so they can
start helping.
Yeah.
Start contributing. I think that's the part of this thing that drives me the most crazy is the idea of dreamers. The idea that there are people in this country who are in college, who have jobs, who want to work towards citizenship, and we're telling them, no thanks, we don't need you.
Well, I don't think we really tell people that they come in for college, we let them stay, but there's like caveats to that because they have to have a job in their field, so there's no gender studies for them.
Well, yeah, and that makes sense. But that you're also able to get a scholarship easier if you're as an American citizen if you go into one of the other. I can get a job as a computer or a scholarship as a computer engineer quicker than I can gender studies because they need computer engineers.
Well, do you get scholarships based on your degree?
Well, if they need something, then you're more likely to get a scholarship for that program. If we need engineers, if we need doctors, if we need whatever, there's incentives built into the system to make it easier to become the things we need.
Doctors from like out of the country, when they have a program to where like they get put in the like shitty parts of the country,
yeah,
and they have to like work there, but they get their citizenship way faster.
Right. I think dreamers are the kind of people we want to keep around. So the idea that there's this list and that we're just going to kick everybody out is frustrating to me. Counterproductive, right?
Yeah.
It's the opposite direction. And this president tends to favor that kind of action.
No, It's just that this president's in the media way more. Because the last president deported a lot
more people. That's true.
So
Not
it's just perception.
Yeah.
It's just all perception.
It's his rhetoric. He has racist rhetoric. So
just grab him by the pussy.
Yeah. It's easier to pin him down on shit because he just says whatever the fuck.
And he's very polarizing. Like, he gets this side, oh, no, he's great.
Yeah.
And then there's this side. Like, I don't think there's really a middle ground with him. It's like hate or love. There's no middle ground.
Yeah. By design.
Whereas, like, Obama, like, I would say the majority was just
middle ground.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right.
I don't really feel it either way, good or bad. Yeah.
Like, the shitty stuff he did, you didn't really hear about. Like, all the drone strikes, all of the executive orders he gave overseas with just droning people to death.
Yeah.
Deporting people all the time.
Out of control.
Never heard of it.
Never heard one thing. No.
This president, he wants to build a wall, and then
he's done this to himself.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, the same can be said for George W. Bush. There were a lot
I think he was
things.
the puppet. He just seems way too dumb.
Cheney's puppet. Well, you can't say that and say Trump isn't dumb. Trump is worlds dumber than George.
Well, no, I think he's smarter in a way different way. Like, if he's doing all these things on purpose,
he might be a genius. No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think any person would willfully put themselves in Donald Trump's shoes as it exists right now. Who would want to be him?
He's got money. He's got power.
Does he? Seems like both of those things are slowly dissolving around him. The dumbest thing he ever did was run for president, because now we're going to know everything about his life, and he does not want people to know everything about his life, especially his financial life. When that stuff comes out, and it'll probably be after 2020, we're all going to shake our heads.
Be like, well, I guess he's going to jail.
Yeah, he's probably going to go to jail. I don't think you can pardon yourself. I don't think that's ever
I'm going to give myself an advance pardon.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
Who knows?
This is the weirdest period of American history I can think of. In terms of all the social upheavals, in terms of the guy in the White House. It's amazing. It's incredible.
It's like a still working country, but we're all at civil war.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's like it's a pressure cooker. At the same time,
everything's working.
Yeah.
But everything's fighting against each other.
People are going to look back at this time. I really do feel like we're in one of those upheaval moments where it could go one way or the other. I don't know which way it should go, so I'll keep my mouth shut. But something weird's going on. We're breaking. There's a breaking point coming.
Yeah, it's...
Which makes me want to kind of stress again the place that America got its power from. What is America's great power? It's
inclusion.
It's inclusion, and the way that you...
Including all the dreamers.
Yes.
Putting them all together.
Inclusion, because you have more ideas in the pot. And when you have more ideas in the pot, you're more likely to have innovation. America's power is innovation. We're the place where things get invented. Important things.
Because you have all these inventors. Like Thomas Edison, he said he spent 1,000 tries to make the light bulb?
Yeah. You did 1,000 not light bulbs.
The more inventors you have inventing stuff, you'll find the one that works.
More ideas that come to the table, the more you're able to change your perspective, flip it just a little way, and have a new idea that nobody's had before. If you look at the way the world works, Facebook happened here, Microsoft happened here. All the most important...
Google, Amazon.
All those things happen in America, and that's why America is the greatest country in the world at the moment. But that can change. We can become closed off. We can stop allowing new ideas into the pot. And if that happens, we lose the one strength that has existed throughout America.
We'll be the ones not to invent warp drive, and then we'll be left behind.
Yes. China will become the world power because they were willing to include more than we were. Because we had a president named Donald Trump who changed the way people thought about each other.
No, I think Obama changed the way people think more than Trump did.
Maybe, but I don't think you can blame it on him. I think you can say...
You can't blame anything on Trump either. He didn't...
I can.
Why?
Because he is incurious. He doesn't care to learn. He stays stuck in his own, like, 3 or 4 points that he has in his head. He's not willing to include anybody else in his decision-making process. Donald Trump is the worst example of a leader I can think of.
Really?
Yeah.
Nixon?
Donald Trump's worse than Richard Nixon. Nixon was at least intelligent. He was a crook, but he had shame.
He was a crook from the beginning.
He had shame, though.
Did he?
Donald Trump has no shame. He resigned. Nixon resigned. Donald Trump will never resign.
Because he didn't want to get impeached.
Yes, he was on his way to being impeached. If they try to impeach Trump, he will not resign. That's not Donald Trump's...
Well, that's already a thing that he has over Nixon. He hasn't done anything to get impeached over. Nixon definitely did.
Yeah. No, I'll agree. I think he's broken laws, but they're the kind that you can't prove.
And those are the ones probably before he was elected, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe he's an outstanding guy, and all this shit is just mad people, like, it's just trolls.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I get the shit talking.
I don't think it's all trolls.
No.
However, well, maybe he's just smarter. I don't know.
What launched his political career?
I think The Simpsons did.
Well, birtherism.
No, I think Simpsons.
The Simpsons?
That episode where they had Trump president?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
saw it. And I also blame Obama for this. Because he told Trump he would not become president.
Yeah, he did.
And then Trump was just like, fuck you, man. Here I go.
If anybody could have foresaw that. Jesus.
Well, so this is all just Obama's fault.
According to Trump, yeah. I bet that's what he says. But you know what? This economy is probably Obama's fault, too. And it's doing pretty well. I don't think Trump's policies have anything to do with how well everything's going. It was the rebuild is finally starting to pay off.
Yeah, I feel like you don't really notice the president's things until, like, after they're already done and out.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But when you do things like undo the Iran deal and a bunch of stuff like that, you're undoing the previous administration just to undo the previous administration. Yeah. It's birtherism. The idea that he doesn't deserve to be president.
Well, I don't know. Well, he deserves to be because he won it.
Well, so that's why Trump's there. God knows, I wish I could prove he was born in Kenya or something.
Where's his birth certificate?
I mean, I get why he's popular, because people want blunt truth and they're sick of the same old thing. But this is the worst possible example of a political outsider. We could have picked anybody else and it would have been better.
I think it would have been way better third party. This would have been the year for the third party.
Yeah. I'm worried because I think we're in an era where Oprah is the next best presidential candidate. We're going to start doing entertainers.
I was a big fan of the Starbucks ex-CEO running.
Yeah. Schultz.
Yeah. But he's a rich white guy, so that's just not what you want.
No chance.
Well, he has a chance if he doesn't run the Democratic Party. If he runs third party, the Democrats don't have a chance to, like,
if Trump
kick him out.
If he runs third party, Trump wins because he'll split the vote. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have to state that he's running Democratic, and then once he's running for presidency, he'd just be like, I'm really Democratic. So,
I think it's a better strategy to get behind one guy, but there's 28 million people running right now.
Well, and I just feel like this whole far left, far right, weird people in the middle, like, it's just, I don't feel like two parties is enough anymore.
It always feels like performances. I don't feel like we ever get to any truth from a politician. It's all this kind of...
Well, like I said, if I was running for president and big things like abortion came up, I'd be like, I'm not going to tell you my stance because that shit doesn't really matter. And if that shit ever ended up on my desk for a veto, I'm resigning.
Just walking away from it. Throw the pen down, I'm walking away.
Be like, this? Nope. I'm done. I'm out.
It's definitely one of the biggest concerns people have about Trump.
Yep.
Pro-choice thing.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. He can't touch
He's not going to change anything.
It's established law.
Because it takes way too long to get to his desk, and it's not going to get through the Senate or Congress before it gets to his desk, and it doesn't matter.
No. But he'll definitely talk the shit out of it in 2020 and paint the liberal as
sure will. They all do.
Killer. Yeah. Well, he's taking advantage of his marketing strategies, kind of like the Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
All right. I think it's time to go see Captain Marvel.
Let's see Captain Marvel. I'm sure we'll have a brief review next
on Wednesday.
episode. Yeah, on Wednesday.
Well, I guess for you guys it'll be Thursday. Record Wednesday.
Hopefully it won't be as bad as I think it will be.
I've only talked to one person that's seen it, and she did not like it. Yes, I did say she.
Well, at least you asked somebody that matters. That was nice of you.
And, hey, Bree, it was a woman of color that did not like your movie.
That was a close one.
Just in case you were wondering, it was a woman of color that did not like your movie.
Yeah. Hey, Bree, I like it, and I haven't seen it, so...
All right.
All right, let's cut there.